but we will talk this afternoon about plan in some detail, but the principles remain the principles that we've been operating on for a very, very long time, which is that we stand with Ukraine, and if there's to be a ceasefire, it needs to be a just and lasting ceasefire. And that's why it's so important that we repeatedly set out the principle that matters about Ukraine and for Ukraine. And we stand here to support you in the conflict and support you in the negotiations, and make sure that it is a just and lasting settlement if we can get that far. But you're very welcome. Much look forward to our discussions.
Thank you very much, Keir. Thank you for organizing this meeting. Thank you, friends. Emmanuel, Friedrich, thank you for our joint meeting. I think that is very important now to organize such a meeting, to meet and discuss very sensitive issues regarding to these talks, what we had in the United States and between us, and our team came back, and I think that they will brief us after talks with the American team and after talks of Americans with Russians. I think there are a lot of what we have to discuss, to speak about. So there are things which are very important for today. I think unity between Europe and Ukraine, and also unity between Europe, Ukraine and the United States. There are some things which we can't manage without Americans, things which we can't manage without Europe, and that's why we need to make some important decisions. So thank you very much for this day.
Thank you. Emmanuel.
Thank you, Keir. Thank you for organizing this discussion, and thank you, Volodymyr, for being with us together with Friedrich. I think we all support Ukraine, and we all support peace and peace negotiations to have a sustainable, a robust peace. And I think we have a lot of cards in our hands. The financing and the furniture of equipment and training programs to Ukraine, the fact that Ukraine is resisting in this war, and the fact that the Russian economy is starting to suffer, especially after our latest sanctions and the US sanctions. And now I think the main issue is the convergence between our common positions, Europeans and Ukrainians, and the US to finalize these peace negotiations and re-engage a new phase in the best possible conditions for Ukraine, for the Europeans, and for our collective security. Thank you.
Thank you, Prime Minister Keir Starmer, for having us here in 10 Downing Street in London today. I highly appreciate that we are having the opportunity to see you, Volodymyr, together with Emmanuel, and talking about the upcoming days, because this could be a decisive time for all of us. So we are trying to continue our support for Ukraine, as you know. On the other hand, we are seeing these talks and negotiations in Moscow and the US. I'm looking forward to hear from you what the outcome of these talks might be. And we are still and remain strongly behind Ukraine and giving support to your country, because we all know that this the destiny of this country is the destiny of Europe. Yeah. So that's the reason why we are here, trying to figure out what we can do. And nobody should doubt on our support for Ukraine. This is what we are firmly standing behind, and the outcome is open. I'm skeptical about some of the details which we are seeing in the documents coming from the US side, but we have to talk about. That's why we are here. Thank you for your invitation.
No, thank you all. Thank you very much.